Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be continuing our series of Lolita tips for new Lolitas. A while ago I made a video titled Where Not to Buy Lolita Fashion From, and today we are going to be continuing and finally telling you where you can buy Lolita fashion from. This series is going to be split up into two videos. The reason for that is mainly because I understand that some Lolitas prefer to buy off-brand, whereas some prefer to move straight into buying brands. Doesn't it look pretty? The Star Shine Bright, Metamorphose, Moitié, and brands like that. And those are typically found on two completely different spheres in the realm of purchasing Lolita. So this video is going to be centered on Taobao resellers and purchasing Taobao items, and the next video is going to be centered on purchasing brand from sites like Lace Market and Mercari and Rakuten, Rakuma, and all of those different sites. So right away, we're going to start and talk about sites that you can use to purchase Taobao Lolita fashion from. These are brands that are primarily based in China, and these shops are typically run by maybe like one or two people. They're typically very small operations, and because of that, it is not the easiest to purchase their items, which is why we have reseller sites to get these items to us. Now, in our last video, we talked about one reseller site that is very well known in the Lolita community for being one that you should not purchase from. That one is DevilInspired. If you have not yet watched that video and you're unsure why DevilInspired is not a good place to purchase from, I have a video for that, as I mentioned previously, and I will link it in either the cards above or put it in the description below. And if you have any other questions, you are free to ask me in the comment section. However, you definitely want to stay away from that site. But that does not mean that all reseller sites are bad. You can purchase from several other ones. And for those of you who are unaware, a reseller is simply someone who is basically the middleman. They will order the item from Taobao for you, and you will pay for it, and then they will ship the item overseas to wherever you live. And you can get the item without having to go on Taobao and kind of try to read through the site in Mandarin or things like that, even though the site will be translated if you use Google Chrome or anything like that. So it is actually not that hard to purchase from Taobao. I have a video as well explaining how to buy from Taobao directly with a shopping service. The one that I use is Spreenow. It is always linked in the description. And if you ever have any questions on how to purchase from there, you can always ask me directly or seek that video and use it as a reference. Once you do it once, it is very easy. But if you prefer to purchase from a reseller site, I am going to list some out for you in this video so you know which ones are safe to buy from and which ones are not. And I will try to list some pros and cons for each. Now, I do want to say right up front, there are a lot of reseller sites. I cannot possibly name all of them in this video, mainly because I have not used all of them, and I don't want to say anything about a site that I have not personally had any experience from, or that I don't know of experience from other Lolitas who have used those sites. But just to give you a general basis for the sites that we're going to be covering today, I'm mainly going to be talking about Glitzy Wonderland, My Lolita Dress, Lolita Wardrobe, and Clobba. There are some other sites that I know that are 100% good to use, one of those being 42 Lolita. I believe that they are a shopping service called 42 Agent, and they sell Lolita via this site, 42 Lolita, so they are perfectly fine to buy from, but I've not purchased from them myself. I have heard from other Lolitas, though, that they are fine, though, so if you would like to purchase from them, they are okay. There's another site called SweetMomentLolita that I believe is based in Switzerland, if I'm remembering correctly. If I am incorrect, I will correct myself on the screen somewhere, but I believe that is where they are based, and you can buy from them as well. They pretty much don't have very much of a markup from what I can see. They're basically selling the price at the original Taobao price. But I've ordered from them through Lace Market. They have a seller on Lace Market under the username Molly's, and I purchased some items from them via Lace Market, and everything was fine. It's just like purchasing via Spreenow, no problems there. So if you would like to purchase from them, that is another option for you. So back onto those four main sites, I want to start with Glitzy Wonderland. So Glitzy Wonderland is pretty much a what you see, what you get type of website, and that is one of the things that I do like about them. Whatever you see on their website is going to be the price that they are charging you. They claim that they have free shipping worldwide, but in actuality, they have basically already added the cost of shipping into the item that you see. So other than the price that you see on your screen when you're browsing through Glitzy Wonderland, there's not going to be any additional shipping costs or anything like that. You're going to be paying exactly what you see. So as far as that's concerned, I think that's a pretty good reason to use them if you're the type of person who doesn't like to think about additional prices or other costs. You have like a set budget, and whatever you see in front of you is what you're interested in paying. And so as far as that's concerned, I think that Glitzy Wonderland is a perfectly fine site to use. However, there is one big glaring issue about Glitzy Wonderland that I really don't care for, and that is their customer service. Glitzy Wonderland's customer service is a mess. You can order something from Glitzy Wonderland and have absolutely no issues at all, but I pray that you do not have to contact customer service for any reason, because they will not answer you for a while. I have absolutely no idea why this is, but for whatever reason, Glitzy Wonderland just does not reply to their emails. They have an Instagram that they don't reply to either. I think they have a Facebook page that they don't reply to. I once had an issue personally when I was ordering a dress, Moon Shadow. I wore it in one of my recent videos actually, where I was talking about my dream dress wish list. And that dress actually was ordered in the incorrect colorway originally. I actually accidentally ordered it in the gray blue colorway, and I sent an email immediately as soon as I realized it. I think it was either the evening of or the very next morning. I was like, oh my gosh, I ordered the wrong color. I sent them a quick email like, hey, I'm sorry, this was an error on my part. Could you please correct this for me and change it in the system to be the black colorway? And I did not get any kind of response from them. And I figured after a couple of days, it's been a while, I'll give you a day or two, but after a couple of days, I feel like I should have a response. And they were not responding to me. They were not responding to any kind of email. I did as much research as I could to see what was the easiest way to reach out to them. And I found out that they say the best place to reach out to them is on their Instagram. I reached out to them on their Instagram, no answer. I reached out to them on Facebook, no answer. And it just became a very confusing ordeal in which I was getting emails from them saying, hey, your dress is being processed, your order is being processed, it should be ready to ship out soon. Meanwhile, I'm in the background saying, no, there's an error here, can you please correct my order? I don't want this colorway of the dress. It was getting to the point where I was mentally preparing myself to get the wrong color of the dress, which in the defense of this being a first world issue, I would have been fine with the gray blue colorway of the dress at the end of the day. It wasn't like I ordered red. I wouldn't have been happy with the red, but with the blue is my favorite color. I wanted the black, but I would have been fine with the blue. But the point is, I really would have just liked that to be, it's a fairly simple issue. I thought that they could just fix it and we'd be done with it, but they just weren't answering their email. It got to the point where I started sending them an email every single day, until they replied to me. And they did eventually reply to me, and the error was settled. I was even after I talked to them, I was saying to myself, they're probably going to send me the wrong colorway of the dress anyway, and I'm just going to have to be okay with that. But everything did turn out fine, and they did actually send me the black colorway of the dress, so that all did turn out well. But I feel like 2 weeks of radio silence and no answer whatsoever from a site where you need to be responsive to customers is not something that is very good on your track record. Again, I will reiterate and stress that it was an issue on my part. They did not do the wrong colorway for me. They did not send out the incorrect color. They ended up fixing it. It was my fault from the beginning. But still, I do think that when you're dealing with something as specific as Lolita fashion, where people are going to want specific colors, they're going to want a specific size, and if they just so happen to misclick so much and make a mistake and order the incorrect one, I do think you should be a little bit more diligent in responding to your consumers. So I think if I were to overall rate Glitzy Wonderland, I'd give them like a 7 out of 10 as far as sending out items and not getting scammed. I mean, they're approvable in that regard. But with that situation regarding customer service, given how important customer service is in like Lolita fashion and just in general, the fact that their customer service is so poor, and that I have heard other Lolitas talk and say that they've tried to reach out to Glitzy Wonderland and they have the exact same issue where they will not answer any sort of message or email, I think that I'm going to have to lower their points just a little bit. I mean, in terms of customer service alone, I unfortunately have to give them a 0 out of 10. 2 weeks with no answer, not even a, I'm going to forward this to someone who can help you. Nothing is inexcusable in my opinion. But as far as everything else, just as a site overall, I would give them a solid 7 out of 10. So the next site we are going to discuss is going to be My Lolita Dress. And I want to talk about My Lolita Dress after Glitzy Wonderland because I recently made a video talking about one of the cons of Glitzy Wonderland that I didn't mention just now, and I want to talk about it as it relates to My Lolita Dress because they had it a little bit worse than Glitzy did. My Lolita Dress in the past was very well known for selling replica dresses.
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
I think I talked about this in that video where I was talking about a dress that is currently being sold on Glitzy Wonderland that is unfortunately a replica dress. I have an entire video talking about it. It is an Oz on Japan dress. There is a Taobao shop currently selling a replica of this dress, and whether or not Glitzy Wonderland is aware of this, I have no idea, but there is a dress currently listed on their site that is indeed a replica. Now, other than this specific instance, I don't know of any other instances of Glitzy Wonderland selling replicas. I don't know of them ever selling any brand replicas. But this replica is, from what I understand, still on their site. I haven't checked, but since it's still being sold on Taobao, I imagine it's still on Glitzy's site. I don't see why they would have removed it, as that's some money for them. But again, I don't know if they're aware of this or not. I just want to throw that out there that some research is going to have to be done on your part as it relates to these sites. You cannot totally blindly trust everything on them. But as far as My Lolita Dress goes, they were selling brand replicas. Now, they were very upfront about the fact that these were replicas. As far as I'm aware, every replica that they sold had replica in the title. And these were very old listings, as you can see from the images that I put on screen. This was back when My Lolita Dress used to like put their watermark all over the images, and they don't do that anymore for their current releases. So I don't think that they are still carrying replicas as far as I'm aware. I did see a thread recently on Reddit saying that there is a moitié bat bag replica on their site. I think that this is just another case of it being a Taobao replica and maybe they're unaware of it. I do think that it was from a brand known for replicas though, so I don't know how they couldn't know about it, but I'm just speculating at this point, and it is just something that I wanted to throw out there about My Lolita Dress, that in the past, they were known for selling replicas, and I feel like you should just know that. Whether or not that makes you want to buy from them now is completely up to you. I do want to say that other than that, I've never had any issues from them. I ordered my Chocolate Rabbits JSK and blouse that I just recently did a video on from them, and that was a couple of years ago, but I didn't have any issues with it. Based on what I've heard recently, just like everyone else in the world right now, I think they said that shipping is a little bit slow with My Lolita Dress, but that's pretty much everywhere. You can't really blame them for that specifically. But other than that, I don't really have any negative things to say about My Lolita Dress. I don't know how good their customer service is because I don't recall ever needing to reach out to them for anything. So I cannot tell you from firsthand experience how good that is, but from what I understand, they have pretty decent customer service. I've never heard of them like not answering or anything. However, at this point, I would like to mention, if you have any experiences different than what I'm saying, please put them in the comment section below. This video is meant to help other people, and if maybe you had a horrible experience with Glitzy Wonderland or My Lolita Dress, please leave it in the comment section below so that others can be aware. Maybe I'll like pin it or something like that, or include it in a pinned comment or add to the description or whatever. But as this is a resource for your fellow Lolita, I do think that it is important that you don't just listen to me, listen to other people's experiences as well. So next we are going to move on to Lolita Wardrobe. This site is pretty much the same as the others, another reseller site. However, I have noticed that it seems that in my experience, Lolita Wardrobe carries a lot more chi and raw Lolita compared to the other sites. I don't know if this is just me like having a weird perspective of things based on what I see recommended to me, but it seems like all of these sites universally have like a lot of Lolita in general. I feel like Glitzy Wonderland has a lot more like gothic that's pushed on their site, even though they have like a lot of stuff. They also have a lot of chi on there, but I just see a whole lot more chi on Lolita Wardrobe than I see on any other reseller site. So if you are interested in Chi Lolita and Wa Lolita and Han Lolita and those types of substyles, I would definitely recommend shopping on Lolita Wardrobe over the other sites, just because they tend to have more on there from what I've seen. As it relates to Lolita Wardrobe as just purchasing from them, I have not had any issues with them. As a matter of fact, Lolita Wardrobe, in my experience, has amazing customer service. I would give them an A+ for their customer service. I have messaged them on the weekend and gotten an answer like the next morning. Like every time I've had a question for them, they did not take long to reply at all. I genuinely think that even on the weekends, they reply within 24 hours. I think I asked a question on a Friday and they answered on a Saturday, so maybe it was like the time difference. Maybe they were still available then, and maybe they don't answer on like Sundays. I don't know. I don't know exactly what days they answer and what days they don't. But I do know that anytime I've ever had a question for Lolita Wardrobe, they have answered right away. They have been very quick, very helpful. I mentioned this in my video about DevilInspired, where there was a bit of a language barrier in terms of the communication. There was no such language barrier or any issues like that with Lolita Wardrobe. So if you are interested in buying from Lolita Wardrobe, I have nothing negative to say about them. If anyone in the comments does, leave that in the comments below, but for me, they get an A+. And the last site that I really want to talk about, I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible because I know you guys have been waiting on this video, so I apologize if it feels as though I'm not saying a whole lot of information here, but I feel like I'm just giving you the basic gist of whether or not it's safe to buy from and that you can do your own research from there. But the last site that I'm going to be talking about is the reason why it took so long to make this video, and that is Clobba. So Clobba is a site that I had heard a lot about that I had never really gone out of my way to purchase from because I felt like anything that was on there I was able to find on other sites, and at a certain point I had moved to just buying directly from Taobao anyway, so I never thought that I was going to have to purchase from Clobba. But one of the things that I found out about Clobba and that I really appreciate about them is that they allow you to do a payment plan. So on other sites, you pretty much have to pay via PayPal or whatever your means of paying online is immediately. They don't let you do any sort of payment plan. You just pay the full price up front, just like you would do on a site like Lace Market or other sites that don't really allow you to do something like, I know AliExpress allows you to do pay in 4 on there. So if you're purchasing like some accessories or a bulk order of accessories like I tend to do when I purchase from AliExpress, you can do the pay in 4 on there so that there is not a huge chunk of money coming out of your bank account at one time. None of us like to see that, especially in this current economy. But Clobba allows you to do a payment plan. So what you can do is just email Clobba directly on the email listed on their website, and they will set it up for you to do a payment plan. where you can pay a deposit of your choosing, and then you can just pay on it every couple of weeks, every week, whatever you set up to be the time that you intend to be finished paying for it. You can just pay it at your own discretion, and once you're finished, they will order the items for you and ship it out. They may even order them as soon as you message them. I believe that when I ordered my Angel's Heart dress, I believe that the items had already arrived by the time I was on my 3rd payment, I believe. Maybe it was on my 3rd or 4th payment. I might have been on my last payment, actually, because I messaged him for a reason. And I believe he told me that the dress was already in, so that was great. But yes, as far as Clobba is concerned, I think that it is a huge boon that you can do a payment plan on there. While Taobao is known for being affordable, this is not to say that there are not dresses that are a little bit more pricey. And if you're just unable to pay for the full thing right away, you can just message them and they will set up a payment plan for you. And I think that is great. I also noticed that Clobba is one of those sites like Lolita Wardrobe where it seems like they have a lot more like chi and things that I don't really see on other sites, like Angel's Heart. Angel's Heart, the Taobao brand, has a lot of stuff on Clobba, but I really don't see them on too many other reseller sites for whatever reason. I think I've seen them on Lolita Wardrobe as well. I don't know what it is with these sites and how they choose which Taobao brands they advertise and which ones they don't. I don't really know. Another thing that I do know about Clobba is that if there is an item that you see on Taobao and it is not on their listing, then I believe that Martin is able to get that for you. Martin being the guy who is over Clobba. I don't know if he's like the owner or the manager or whatever is the case. I don't know the terminology. I just know that Martin is a sweetheart and he helped me out get my dress. So I'm going to be shouting him out. Thank you very much, Martin. But yes, it is listed on their site that if there's something on Taobao that's not on their site, you can message them and hopefully they'll be able to get it for you. So absolutely 10 out of 10 for Clobba as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely great customer service. Whenever I had a question for Martin, he replied very quickly. He answered, I had several questions for him at one point and he answered all of them in far greater detail than I was requesting of him, but he went out of his way to do that anyway, so thank you, Martin. And he was just very nice, and I was just going to shout him out and shout out Clobba because I like to shout out good customer service. When it comes to buying Lolita, good customer service is everything, and I do not want anyone to have a bad shopping experience. And honestly speaking, I think that's going to be it for this video as far as the sites that we're covering. As far as the sites that we're going to be covering as it relates to purchasing from Taobao resellers, I think these are going to be the main ones that you want to stick to. There are, of course, several other options. As I mentioned, 42 Lolita, Sweet Moment Lolita. There is also the Lollygal shop on AliExpress that is fine to buy from. I want to mention very quickly that AliExpress is not a terrible place to buy Lolita from. I don't think a lot of people understand this, but anyone can be a Taobao reseller. Anyone on AliExpress, or even you, if you are able to buy from China, can be a Taobao reseller. It is not like something you need a whole entire website for. And for that reason, there are shops that you can buy from that are trustworthy, but you're not going to know that until you purchase from them. And if you are new to the fashion, I just don't recommend you really take that risk. I really think you should stick to the trusted reseller sites and not really put yourself at risk of purchasing from a seller on AliExpress that is not the best or the most trustworthy, or they don't take good care of the items, they package it poorly and it arrives to you damaged. I can say that in my experience from buying Lolita on AliExpress, I've only really bought a few accessories and trinkets here and there. I purchased this from there, this necklace as well, these wrist cuffs. As you can see, they're very cheap. There's nothing special about them, no ribbon or anything. Very simple. I purchased a bunch of bulk items like that from AliExpress, and all of them have turned out fine. Some of them were not amazing quality, but I was expecting that because they were very cheap. But I really just wanted them to serve a purpose of being an accessory for me to wear, and as long as it does that, I am perfectly fine with it. But that is, of course, just speaking of accessories. If you see some Roji or Yeejo tights or OTKs on AliExpress, I guarantee you that they are most likely going to be safe to buy from because, like I said, anyone can just buy from Roji and just import the item and ship it to you. You know, that's not anything you need to be verified for, if that's the easiest way to say it, as opposed to buying a main piece like a dress. I've only purchased 2 dresses from AliExpress so far, and I don't plan on buying any other main pieces from there simply because I now know how to buy from Taobao and I don't really think that I need to. But there are a few trusted sites that you can purchase from. You can also just read reviews if you happen to find a site that you think looks trustworthy. You've seen people purchase from there and the reviews all seem good. You are more than welcome to purchase from there if you really trust it. Once again, I'm not going to recommend it for a main piece, but if you have done your research and you feel safe about it and you feel fine about it, go ahead and do so. However, do keep in mind that you are able to leave reviews on your own after you make a purchase from there, and if you did not have the best customer experience or things were poor quality, you are more than welcome to leave that in the feedback as well. As a matter of fact, there was a shop that I purchased from. It was a random little shop. It was selling something from my favorite brand where Coco is from, Lovely Lota. It was a little Coco keychain, and I purchased one from AliExpress. and one of them was fine, but another one that I purchased unfortunately was damaged. I reached out to the seller, and he was actually very kind to send me another one. Well, it wasn't completely free of charge. It was actually 1 penny, because I don't think they're allowed to sell things for free on there, but it was for a penny, and I'm going to just say that the penny was for the cost of shipping. But he sent me another one. I guess he ordered again, and there was no issue this time. I guess this was just a quality control issue of the seller in China, in which he ordered this item, and I guess the item was packaged incorrectly. The item was missing a piece, and they didn't notice. And the seller, he didn't realize. I don't know how they do it, if he receives the item and then sends it to me, or if he purchases it and lists my address. I really don't know how it works with AliExpress, but unfortunately there was a piece missing. I told him about it. I left a review saying, hey, my item was damaged, and he said, I'll fix it for you as soon as possible, and he did. I said all that to say you can certainly find sellers on AliExpress that are willing to help you, that are not scammers, even if they may seem like a little dingy shop without too many reviews. They're not all bad, but that said, I would say please just stick to accessories, small little trinkets, wrist cuffs, things like this. Nothing like a main piece or a dress. You really don't want to be getting scammed out of a dress, or getting one that's unfortunately poor quality or something like that. But that all said, I think I've covered all of the sites that I wanted to cover. If you think of any other sites that you have any questions about, or that you have used yourself and you would like to leave them in the comment section below, please do so. We are all here to help each other and to learn from each other, and the more experiences we have under our belts, the more we can help each other buy from places that are safe and stay away from ones that are unfortunately not so safe. So that's going to be it as far as it relates to purchasing from Taobao or Taobao reseller sites. The next video that I'm going to make is probably going to be a bit shorter, because I don't have too many experiences buying brand in the first place, but because I tend to browse around a lot, I'm kind of a bit familiar with where it is safe to buy from. I've heard from others where it's safe to buy from, and I have a couple of experiences that I can share with you as to where you can safely purchase brand Lolita from, and not just Taobao dresses. So thank you for watching this video. Feel free to share it with anyone who is a newer Lolita and wondering where they can safely buy from. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you later, guys! And because I never forget about Coco, I remembered that I had to bring her out so that she could say goodbye to you guys as well.